Alright, today we're going to build the stabilizer and we're going to build the elevators. Right now I'm going to show you how to do the stabilizer. And on the plan sheet that you have, the stabilizer is this inside outline right here. That's what we're going to be framing in first, and then we'll fill in the center parts. Make sure you don't extend your wood out to here. It doesn't matter if you do, you could if you wanted to, but we're just going to do the stabilizer right now with these parts right here on the end of the stabilizer are part of the elevator, so we don't want to really hook them up. First thing we're going to do is going to go ahead and we're going to lay our trailing edge piece of quarter by quarter down, and you can see where the marks are on the sheet. You just want to go to the end of those marks to where the sides of the elevators are going to be, which would be right here. So line up one edge on there, and then we're just going to make a mark here with an X-Acto. You can use an X-Acto blade or a saw. It makes no difference what you use. I usually put a little mark on it and then just slice through it. The saw will give you a nice clean edge too. You don't want to put too much pressure on it, and make sure you have a nice sharp blade, and that way you'll make sure that you get a nice clean edge on it. And then we're just going to pin that right down on the sheet. Basically I just try and make sure that I can see both sides of the outline on the plan, or cover both sides of the outline on the plan, and I'll put a few pins in it just to make sure it stays nice and straight for the rest of the build. You try to place your pins where you're not going to be gluing any joints, that way you won't glue the pins to anything or they'll be in your way. So if you can try and keep them off where you think you're going to be gluing pieces, that's good. If not, you can put them in there and glue it anyway, and then when we unstick the pins, we're just going to go ahead and pull the whole thing off and glue all the joints over again anyway. We just want to put a little light dab on the joints just to get it tacked together, and that'll be good. So here we go. Now the next move we're going to make is just take another piece of your quarter by quarter, and you just slowly go around that outside of the frame. And that's what we're going to do right here. Make your marks to see where everything's going inside. I slice them right on the sheet. You can go ahead and cut your pieces out what you want. I usually pin everything as I go. That way you're guaranteed on your next cut you don't move anything and make a wrong cut. When you get to the center part here, you're probably going to make two cuts because it's kind of an angle in the center up in here, right there. So I'll come down here first and make my outer mark. Slice that right where I put the mark. And you're going to get this as center as possible. You can leave a little bit of excess on the outside of the edges if you'd like to, because a little bit of sandpaper. I have that right on hand right here. You want to cut a little bit more than a little bit less, because you'd rather have a little too much on there than not enough, and you can always sand off that little bit. And as you can see, the frame's coming together pretty fast, and that's all you need to do. Now I'm going to pin down here instead of at the edge, because when we go to do our centerpiece, we're going to want to measure stuff, and I won't want the pins to be in the way of the ruler. And if you're like me, you have workspace issues with your lumber, no problem. So on this one, you can see you can overlap it and make your mark, or just make the piece smaller first. So we'll just start with an edge, which is going to be about approximately there, and just pick up the angle that you need. Slice it down. Like I said, if you go a little bit over, no big deal. And then I'll line that edge up right so. Make a mark right there. Carve it down. And usually it's nice to have a little cutting board or something to put things on, so you don't have to worry about cutting through your plans. And then once you get that lined up, go ahead and mark that out. That came out pretty good from where I am. This should just show you how fast and easy it is to put a model airplane together. Anything with a blueprint, as long as you got to follow it. Most of the models have pre-cut pieces. We're actually scratch building this, so none of the pieces are cut for it, which is fine. This is the fun way to do it. You want things to be nice and snug. Glue joint will fill the spots. They make balsa filler that you can use But, you know, when you're making your framework, if you can make it as snug as possible, that's the best thing to do. And all the group parts will be just fine. Alright, so there we have our whole frame put together. You saw how fast that went together. The next thing we're going to do is fill in the centerpiece.